Welcome, everyone, to our 91-day Business Spotlight Live. I'm your host, Jonathan Mast, and today I've got with me Carl Willis. Carl's going to talk to us about his business, and we're going to put a spotlight on him today. So, Carl, why don't we jump right in? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business and who you guys serve.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name is Carl Willis, just as Jonathan said, and I actually run two marketing agencies focused on different verticals. We have a remodeling marketing team, which is focused on the home remodeling, home services vertical, and then we have agent branding and marketing that is focused on insurance agents. So, two unique verticals, but we apply many of the same principles to those, and that's all about accelerating a person's brand and making you the go-to person in your marketplace.
Fantastic, fantastic. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing for these clients that you work with, and again, kind of what's in it for them. I mean, you did a general overview, but give us a little more detail if you would. What types of services are you providing, and what does that look like from the customer's perspective?
Absolutely. So every business has a unique message. Now, what's interesting about that unique message is a lot of business owners haven't given thought to what that message really is.
So
Uh,
true.
in days of old, we would call it your unique selling proposition. What is it that makes you different? Why should somebody do business with you? Why should they turn to you? What is the message you're trying to convey? And so, first and foremost, we want to help the business owner figure out really who are they in the marketplace. And once they figure out who they are in the marketplace, then the second thing we have to talk about is then who is most going to resonate with who you are. And we have to begin to develop all the mechanisms that reinforce that brand element. I'm going to use the word brand. That's a fun
Hmm.
little marketing term, but the truth is, people do business with those that they know, like, and trust. And
Absolutely.
so, once we figure out what's your message, then we have to figure out who is that message going to resonate. Now, my other hat in life is I'm a pastor. So
Hmm.
in the Bible, Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice, they know my voice. And that's the thing I always want to reinforce to the clients we work with, that those who are supposed to be a part of your flock, a part of your tribe, will recognize your voice when you start to speak their language. And so part of what we have to do is help you communicate your message, your services, your products in a language that your ideal customer will understand. And this is critical because, sometimes you talk to a business owner, Jonathan, and you say, who's your target market? Who are we going after?
Absolutely.
And the answer pretty much is anybody that has a heartbeat or can fog a mirror.
Yeah,
And,
there's some truth in that. Yes.
you know, that's not really accurate. Every business has a ideal customer who is your most profitable customer. And
Hmm.
and I really want to stick on that point for a second. A lot of business owners don't really know who that is. You have to figure out who that is in your business. Who's the most profitable customer? Now, typically what you're going to find is it's the person who's going to use multiple services that you offer. As a home remodeler, you want the person who's not just going to have you put in new kitchen countertops. They're going to have you redo the floor. They're going to have you do some paint. They're going to put in some new cabinets, multiple services. And what happens with those multiple services is you become sticky. Think of it as a spider web. When that moth flies into the web, this wing gets caught and it starts to move around, and this
Hmm.
gets caught and this gets caught. Before you know it, the moth is there for the duration. Well, when we talk about customers, we want sticky customers. We want customers who don't just use one service, but they use multiple services and they stay with us for life. Again, one of our verticals is insurance agents. So you don't want just the
Hmm.
person that brings you the auto insurance. You want the person that's going to bring you their home insurance and their life insurance and the kids' savings accounts and whatever other services you can connect them to. And here's the wonderful news about this that most people overlook. The more services an individual has with you, the harder it is for them to leave you. And
Yes, very
so
true.
there is some grace that comes with that. People have a tendency to give you a little more lenience than they would if you were just a one service relationship. So that's what we move towards. And to answer your question, how do we do that? That really depends on the client, but it's always going to bring in an ecosystem. And that's the terminology that I like to use when we talk marketing. In your ecosystem, there are two suns in the solar system now. There used to be one, but now there's two: your website and your Google business profile. So everything is going to revolve around those: your social media, your content, all the other things you do are going to feed into the center of that ecosystem. And that ecosystem is going to push people back out into your peripheral properties. And so one of the things we're going to work to develop anytime we work with a client is make sure the center of the universe is solid. Is the website there? Can it be found? Does it convert well? But at the same time, we have to pay attention to that Google business profile, because Google loves itself more than anybody else.
Amen
And
to that.
we want to make sure that we're feeding the machine. And now, Jonathan, one of the things that you're so passionate about is the AI component to that. We got to make sure that the AI machine is satisfied with what's going on in your universe, so that it returns your brand as the top result, because it understands your brand. And
Mm.
so, part of what we have to consider is people today operate in multiple modalities. I often explain it to our clients this way. They start here. They're bored. They're sitting in the office. By the way, that's my beautiful wife. They're sitting in the office and they are scrolling around during a break, or they are at the kids' ball game scrolling around, and they encounter your brand. That's the
Hmm.
first touch. But what that does is it creates a domino effect of next steps. I've encountered your brand. Now I want to know more about who Jonathan Mast is. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go Google. And Google's going to lead me on a different trail. And I'm going to take a look at what does Google say and what websites are out there. And along the way, I'm going to encounter the social media side of things. And I'm going to see, well, is he a person that I know, like, and trust?
Hmm.
Does he resonate with me? Does he speak my language? Does he understand my pain points? Does he understand my dreams and aspirations? And when that takes place, we start to turn that prospective customer into a very solid lead and move them down the path to being your satisfied client. And the thing that we often overlook is this is a multi-touch process. Some studies tell us that it takes upwards of 7 touches before a person makes a buying decision.
Hmm.
However, in my experience looking at data, I've seen sometimes it takes 12, 13, 14 touches to get to that
Absolutely.
buying stage. In fact, years ago, I had a client, Jonathan, that when we looked at their analytics, over 50% of their sales came after the 12th touch. And so this is where the principle of the ecosystem comes in. Your brand has to be here. Your brand has to be on the Facebook, on Instagram, YouTube, websites, articles, Google searches, map searches. There's so many places that you're going to have to be visible to stay with that consumer during their buying decision, during that process. And so what we do is we make sure, where does your ideal person spend their time?
Hmm.
So once we've identified that customer that we're looking for, then what we do is reverse engineer. Well, now that we know what type of person this is, what are they interested in? What are they afraid of? What are their habits, hobbies? What does their family look like? What does their educational level look like? We're going to build a profile, or in marketing terms, we call it an avatar of who that best prospective customer is. And we're going to work our way backwards. Okay, well, they spend a lot of time on social media, and primarily they're going to follow their kids' activities. Great. Then we know we need to craft our message that way. We need to craft our content that way. But we're not going to be fooled. We know that they don't just spend all their time there. They're probably off on YouTube as well. So we need to have some content there. We know that they're also going to be doing some research. And so we've got to have some educational information out there. And at the end of the day, we have to help you, the customer, communicate with your prospective customers. I think, one of the things we're really finding challenging these days, Jonathan, is just what we're doing here. And that's getting a client to just start talking to
Yes.
your prospective audience. Just turn on the camera. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just turn it on and start talking. And what people aren't realizing all too often is that the more authentic it is, the more powerful it seems to be.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Well, you brought up so many amazing things in that, Carl, and one that I really want to just go back on because it's passion of mine. And while this is about you, I think you hit a really core point there. So many businesses out there seem to be concerned that nobody wants to hear what they have to say. When in reality is the target audience that they're trying to reach out to absolutely wants them to demonstrate that expertise, and because they want to know, like, and trust them, and they want to feel that. And I think that's just such a wise counsel from your part, regardless of your industry. Your audience, your message is going to resonate with your audience. So I think that's absolutely great. So tell me, if somebody's interested, they're curious in connecting with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you, Carl?
Yeah, the best way to get in touch is visit either our Facebook pages, remodelingmarketingteam.com and agentbrandingandmarketing.com. Those are the two websites. You can link off to all of our social media from there. Our Facebook pages have the exact same name, Remodeling Marketing Team and Agent Branding and Marketing. So go ahead and take a look at us. That's the best place to communicate. You can send messages through either the website or the Facebook page. So it's an easy place to start that conversation with us.
Awesome. And I know a lot of people may be wondering, what do they expect if they reach out and begin that conversation? What can they anticipate if they take the time to do that, Carl?
Well, the first thing we want to do is get to know you, get to know what it is you're trying to accomplish, and get to know what your pain points are. So, the danger in digital marketing is everybody's got a cookie cutter solution. I tell prospects all the time, any agency out there can do SEO, they can do paid ads, they can do Facebook ads, they can do all of those things. The key is knowing which ingredients need to be put where and when and to what degree. So a good cook knows how to take all of those different ingredients and make a masterpiece. And that's really what we want to do. Each person's business is different. So we need to know what you're trying to accomplish. So the first step always is a discovery call. Let's get to know each other a little bit. Let's hear about what you're doing already. Let's hear about what's working, what's not working, and where are you trying to get to. Get clear on your outcomes, and then let us help you pave the path that gets you there the quickest.
I love it. I love it. That's a great offer. Carl, thank you for joining us today. I want to encourage anybody that's listening, if you're in those niches that Carl serves, reach out and talk to him. Carl's a great guy, man, a great character. And he'll certainly guide you through that process and determine whether or not what they offer is a good fit for you. So, Carl, thank you for your time today. Greatly appreciated. Looking forward to continuing those discussions, and hopefully we'll see you not quite next month, May or March, I'm sorry, when we're both down at a big conference that we go to down in Miami. So looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you, everybody, for listening and joining in and for catching the replay. Again, my encouragement, reach out to Carl and help us, by the way, as we're looking to continue to promote 130 businesses over 91 days. We're on day 7 or 8 right now, and we're doing well, but we would love you to join us. If you own a business and you'd like to be spotlighted, please comment. Let me know. I'll get you the information. Carl, thanks so much. Make it a great day.
Thanks, John.